Welcome back to the Explainer. Today, I am absolutely thrilled because we're tackling something that is literally a game changer for front-end web development. We're going to be mastering dynamic HTML attributes using jQuery. Seriously, if you've ever wondered how websites instantly update right before your eyes without ever reloading the page, well, you're in exactly the right place. We are going to demystify two absolutely critical methods that let you reach right into your web pages and rewrite them on the fly. So let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this with a quick look at our roadmap. We'll kick things off with the attribute toolkit, then move into deleting with remove attribute. From there, setting with 2 arguments, reading with 1 argument, and we'll wrap the whole shebang up with some real-world applications. Starting with Section 1, the attribute toolkit. These are the essential tools for the DOM that you'll definitely want in your developer toolbelt. So let's define exactly what we're working with. We're focusing on at and remove attribute. As you can probably guess, these jQuery methods are simply derived from the word attribute. And honestly, they do exactly what they say on the tin. Whether you need to read an existing attribute on an HTML element, set it to a brand new value, or act as a total digital wrecking ball and delete it completely, these 2 methods have got you covered. I love this quote from our source material because it really grounds us in reality. It points out that there are going to be times, especially when you're developing websites for clients, that you'll want to reach right into your web page and either read an attribute, change it, or just delete it completely. This isn't just some abstract theory, right? This is the daily reality of front-end work. Interacting with attributes dynamically is exactly what separates a static, lifeless web page from a rich, interactive app that clients actually want to pay for. Moving right along to Section 2, deleting with remove attribute. Let's break out the demolition tool. Now, what's really interesting about this setup is how incredibly simple the syntax is. It's just a single line of code. We grab a specific HTML element, in this case, an image inside a contact section that we targeted with the class contact image. Then we just chain on our demolition tool, .remove attribute. Inside this parentheses, we simply pass a string telling jQuery exactly what to destroy. Here, we're stripping away the alt attribute entirely. 1 line of code and boom, it's gone. Our source material leans into this perfectly, saying, you're going to see there is no alt attribute anymore. That's because we removed it like magic using that method. And, it really does feel like magic. If you were to execute that code, right-click your browser and inspect the element, you'd see the HTML structure has literally changed. The browser inspector proves the attribute is completely, utterly gone from the DOM. Let's move to Section 3 and see how this builds, setting with 2 arguments. It's time to look at our versatile tool. Okay, if you take away nothing else from this section, please burn this number into your memory, 2. This is the absolute core rule for setting an attribute using jQuery. If your goal is to change or assign a new value to an element, you absolutely must pass in exactly 2 values or arguments into the method. Let's break that syntax down clearly. We have our multi-tool, .attribute. Inside the parentheses, we've got our 2 arguments separated by a comma. The first argument is the attribute name you want to target. So here, it's alt. The second argument is the brand new value we're applying to it, in this case, the word location. So we aren't just removing the alt text anymore, we are reaching in and forcibly changing the alt text of that map image to say location. And the real beauty of this? You don't even need to remove the old attribute first. If an alt attribute already exists, this method just smoothly overwrites it. All right, Section 4, reading with 1 argument. Let's see how we check our work. So the crucial point here is, 1, just as 2 arguments mean you're setting data, it only takes 1 single argument to read a value. Honestly, this is just a brilliant piece of design by the creators of jQuery. The exact same method behaves entirely differently, just based on how many pieces of information you hand it. And this side-by-side comparison brilliantly illustrates that concept. Think about the set action. We pass alt and location, 2 arguments. The method says, okay, you want me to change something. But when we read, we only pass alt, 1 argument. The method goes, you didn't give me a new value, so you must just want me to tell you what the current value is. It's incredibly elegant, and it totally saves you from having to memorize a bunch of completely different command names. Let's actually see it in action. By deleting that second argument and wrapping our code in a standard console log, we can successfully output the original value right into our browser's developer console. If the original HTML had an alt tag of map, This code reaches into the page, reads that data, and logs map right to the screen. It is the absolute perfect way to retrieve data dynamically based on user interaction. To lower the cognitive load a bit, I've put together this ultimate cheat sheet summarizing the exact syntax logic we've built so far. Notice how remove attribute takes just one argument to delete. The attribute multi-tool takes 2 arguments to set a new value and just 1 argument to read an existing value. If you can lock this logic into your mind, you will literally never get confused about how to manipulate HTML attributes again. Wrapping up with Section 5, Real-World Applications. Let's talk about why this actually matters in practice. Imagine you're building a dynamic image gallery for a client. You've got Essential Image and a Next button. When the user clicks that button, the page doesn't reload. Instead, under the hood, a tiny piece of JavaScript uses our .attrib method with 2 arguments. It targets the image, selects the src attribute, and changes the value to the URL of the next picture. The browser instantly responds by rendering the new image. That incredibly common, smooth gallery experience? Yeah, it's entirely powered by exactly what we just learned. Or, let's step it up to a slightly more complex workflow. Say you're integrating with the Instagram API. Step 1, you ping their servers and request a feed of images. Step 2, you dynamically insert all those new image elements into your blank web page. But wait, for accessibility and SEO, those images need descriptive tags, right? So step 3, you write a loop that cycles through every single inserted image using the .attrib method to dynamically apply unique alt attributes to each one based on the data Instagram sent back. You are literally constructing a fully compliant, data-rich user interface out of thin air. It really makes you think, doesn't it? We've just unlocked a massive amount of control with just one multi-tool and a deletion tool. So I'm going to leave you with this question. If one simple method can dynamically rewrite your entire user interface on the fly, what kind of interactive experiences are you going to build for your next client project? The tools are completely in your hands now. Get out there and start building. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.